us today. We were here a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, and a couple people got the memo because last year it was a complete sea of blue blazers. And a couple people deviated this year, so I'm thankful for that. But I do want to thank all of you for being here today to help us celebrate not only as a business, but as a community. Again, my name is Chris McCorkindale, and I'm our Senior Vice President of Sales and Business Development. We're officially a year into the rollout of our Lowcountry Broadband Plan, and the success so far, while it's certainly worthy of celebration, absolutely could not have been possible without the participation and support of all of you in the room today. A year ago, we set out on an ambitious goal to bring the nation's best internet service to the Lowcountry, namely 1 gigabit service available to the residents and businesses throughout the area. We engaged community leaders engaged us. We began forming partnerships, and we made plans that would enable us to benefit the communities, the consumers, and our businesses. We looked at the immediate needs and long-term goals, and we created a plan to ensure we would have a communications network that could handle the needs of our community for decades to come. We've come a long way in a short period of time. 8 plantations have already jumped on board to make meaningful commitments and have made meaningful commitments to partner with us to support our efforts. I'd like to personally thank those in attendance today. Doug Egley from Hague Point, Peter Christian from Hilton Head Plantation, and Amanda Jones from the Sea Pines Plantation. Thanks so much for everything that you and your staffs and your communities have done to help and support our efforts. I'd also like to thank a few individuals that were not able to be here today. David Dew from Beaufort Plantation, Kevin Radigan from the Brays Island Plantation way up north, Andrew Schumacher from Palmetto Dunes, and Tanya Flanagan from the Sun City community. It now gives me great pleasure to thank those that have helped us along the way and introduce our first guest speaker, Greg Deloach, Assistant Town Manager for Hilton Head Island.
Great, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody being here, and we're certainly a proud partner with Hargray in this venture. I remember about 8 years ago, I think, we got the word that Hargray was to be purchased by a company called Quadrangle Capital Partners. Never heard of them, didn't know what their business was. But we were very interested in this acquisition. We had a cable franchise agreement at the time with Hargray. And we got a call one day from Michael, said he'd like to come talk to us. The then mayor was Tom Peoples. Steve Riley is the town manager. And I am still the assistant town manager. Steve is in town today, by the way. He's at an important announcement in Sea Pines. So we wanted to get to know Michael, and I think what was great about Michael's approach was he wanted to put a face on the acquiring company. We were reluctant, I think, in a lot of ways to see Hargray transition from the company that it was 50, 60 plus years to someone that, quite frankly, an entity we didn't know. We were skeptical. We were concerned at the time that Hargray and all its components might be spun off into something, and somebody makes a buck and leaves town and leaves us sort of in the lurch. Michael was very quick to say that this is a long-term commitment. Not only was it a long-term commitment by Quadrangle, it was a long-term commitment by Michael himself, and everything he said that day was true. We were also concerned, and I think maybe this turned into a cross-examination about this point, because we didn't so much ask the question as it's actually a little bit direct. It wasn't eliciting an answer. The question was, aren't you going to continue the support that Hargray had done all those years in your future? And Michael was very quick to say yes, because Hargray then and now, I think, is really one of the premier companies on the island that supports the community. Look at all the sponsorships. It's from, I go back 20 years and their help with help funding the Arts Center and how important that facility is on the island, all the way down to little 5K races and 10K races and everything in between. Hargray has always been there. And so we were concerned about that. And Michael took the time to walk us through what his plans were, and everything he said has turned out to be true. And I'd like to say he's put together a hell of a professional management team with Hargray. It's just unbelievable. What I like about it, we have 250 employees with the town. What I like about what Hargray has done over the years, particularly the last 8 or 9 years, is the customer service. It starts from the top. There's a mission statement, I'm sure, I haven't read it, but I'm sure there is one, and then it has permeated from the top all the way down to your customer service reps. We're just proud to be associated with Hargray. So as a world-class destination to live and to visit, that was recently named by Travel and Leisure magazine, you probably have heard of that, as the nation's #1 island to visit. People often rave about our amenities, from the weather to the beaches, and by the way, we're about 30% through our beach renourishment project right now. It's a $21 million project. That's gone along very well. To the food, the family-friendly atmosphere that we create by our beach regulations, etc. I think the island can confidently say we offer the best in all these areas of the island. With the progress of the Lowcountry Broadband Plan, thanks to Hargray, we're adding another highlight to our long list of accolades. We're proud to partner with Hargray to bring world-class internet services to the people who live, work, and play here. I have in my hand here a resolution that was adopted back April 21st in 2015, and it's got 4 or 5 whereas clauses, and I wanted to refer to one of them, and that is, whereas the Town Council of the Town of Hilton Head Island recognizes the importance to our community of investments that facilitate best-in-class broadband services, including the importance of those investments to encourage economic growth and to solidify our community's reputation as a location with advanced technological infrastructure for businesses, residents, and visitors. That was voted by Council 7-0, and Chris made a tremendous presentation there that night at our council meeting that was endorsed without question. So the investment Hargray is making bolsters the case for Hilton Head Island as a premier destination for anyone, a visitor, resident, business owners. Merely having internet access available to residents and visitors used to be a selling point. Now it's a basic requirement. The fact our region has an internet service provider such as Hargray that is firmly rooted in our community and committed to making the Lowcountry a better place makes it that much better. The advanced network infrastructure Hargray is putting in place positions Hilton Head Island to offer everything major metropolitan areas do, packaged in a way that only the #1 island in America can. Their investment will attract more businesses, people looking to join the community, and visitors who will make this their yearly vacation spot. The beauty of Hilton Head Island with all the advances of the major city, what more could you ask for? Lowcountry Broadband is the modern ingredient that mixes with our historical significance to create a destination that combines the best of the past, the present, and the future. Our future is bright thanks to Hargray's efforts. Thanks, Michael, Chris, and all your team. And at this point, I'd like to introduce Jim Collette, who serves as the chairman of the town's Hilton Head Island Technology Task Force. Yeah.
We've got some members of the task force that are here. Why don't you just raise your hand? There's about half the task force is here. It's a bunch of retired telephone executives, Bell Lab scientists, people who are major customers. It's really a great group. And Paul McMenamin, who was part of the task force, now works for Hargray. So
be careful.
As chairman of the task force, I want to say how excited the task force is about the Hargray's Lowcountry Broadband Plan. Placing fiber to the home throughout Hilton Head Plantation, where I live, and all the communities that Chris just mentioned. A few years ago, the task force got together and we looked at where we thought telecommunication was going on Hilton Head. And we were concerned because we thought we were going to have wire or copper everywhere on the island, and that's the way it was going to be. Instead, thanks to Hargray's vision and commitment, We are about to have one of the most advanced residential wired networks anywhere. And I said anywhere. New York City, well, Google land, you pick it, we'll be right there, equivalent with that or better. So it's a great step forward. We're excited about two things. One is the level of commitment Hargray has made in making this happen. It's hard to drive anywhere in Hilton Head Plantation without passing 2 or 3 work crews out doing the work. I mean, they are out there. I don't know how many crews it is, lots and lots of them. And for a relatively small company to put that many people out in the field doing work is just incredible. So the commitment that. Secondly, Hargray is building a fiber network with the capacity for the future that matches the very latest installations anywhere in America. So I mean, that is a huge step. We're clearly one of the most advanced communities in the Southeast in a world where people can work, a lot of people can work anywhere. We should put a huge sign as you come on to Hilton Head. You all come down. We have the best wired service in the United States right here. And they are going to come, believe me. They're going to come because that is an attractant that you just, first of all, an absolutely beautiful place, but now we have terrific telecommunications. Personally, I'm thrilled about the whole thing. I'm thrilled about the trucks I see driving around Hilton Head Plantation. I was really thrilled when one of the trucks stopped at my house yesterday. And I have to tell you, it works fantastic. I mean, they put it in yesterday, and I'm who knows why that happened yesterday. But I'm a very happy customer. It really, it's great. I even turned on my cell phone. I got 50 megabits. I probably should have gotten more. But right on my cell phone, 50 megabits. So who knows? Maybe 100 by next week. No, it's. We're also thrilled because I know what this does for Hilton Head Plantation. I know what it does for Hilton Head Island, and I know what it does for Beaufort County. This is a huge positive impact for the people that live in each of those communities, and I'm excited about it. In fact, as I introduced Michael Gottdenker, who's the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Hargray, I just have one thing to say. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jim. And Greg, thank you as well for your kind remarks. I too remember that meeting very well. I was, of course, sitting on the opposite side of the table.
Yes, you were.
But I'm glad now we're on the same side.
Yes.
This is terrific. Again, my name is Michael Gottdenker. I'm Chairman and CEO of Hargray, and I'd like to both welcome you all here today and thank everyone for coming. I particularly want to thank our community partners, and they include elected officials, some of whom are here today, community presidents and general managers, POA board members, technology task force members, and so on, for helping make the Lowcountry Broadband Plan a success. It's your support that has taken this from an idea and turned it into a community initiative with broad-reaching implications. We've heard a little bit about that today for our residents, for our businesses, and for our visitors. And so we're humbled to be a part of this and to be leading this effort, but it really couldn't happen without all of your support. It's been a fantastic journey so far, and there's much to be proud of. Since we announced this initiative last summer, we've installed more than 100 miles of fiber. More than 100 miles of fiber in 7 communities on Hilton Head and on Deloach Island. And we've upgraded our network in 2 communities in Bluffton. Over the past 5 years, Hargray has invested in excess of $150 million laying the groundwork for this initiative. And in the past year alone, as part of this initiative, we have doubled our average annual investment to nearly $60 million. Hence, all the people you see working in these communities. These investments enable us to deliver faster internet speeds, greater reliability, and importantly, a better Wi-Fi experience to our customers. They also ensure, as you've now heard others say, that our region has the very most advanced telecommunications network available, not only today, but also into the future. I should mention that these investments come with more than just a financial cost to Hargray. They have necessitated digging up streets and yards, and try as we have to minimize disruption and inconvenience. We have accidentally cut water and sewer pipes, electric lines, underground sprinkler systems, dog fences, as well as our own and our competitors' communications networks. Also, the upgrades to our internal network, things that are otherwise invisible to our customers and neighbors and are not like the contractors we have working outside in our communities. These upgrades have also resulted in temporary service interruptions and degradation. So I want to thank our customers and our neighbors for their patience as we work through these upgrades. And I also want to take a moment to thank our colleagues here at Hargray for the longer hours and heavier burden they have been carrying during this time. The price we're paying, collectively paying, is short-lived, but the benefits we will all enjoy for decades to come. And to give you a glimpse into this future state, I didn't know, Jim, that your service was installed yesterday, otherwise I would have given you this speaking spot. But I'd like to share comments received from one of our first fiber-to-the-home customers in Hilton Head Plantation, as well as one of our first gigabit customers in Beaufort Plantation in Bluffton. So first, Alan Boatwright, Hilton Head Plantation, says, and I quote, "I was with Time Warner Cable ever since living in Columbia, South Carolina, dating back to 1999. My overall experience with Hargray has been incredible. The staff has been more than helpful, and the new fiber is faster than ever. I really like the fact that my kids' devices don't slow down my internet. I've already recommended Hargray to 10 friends because of my experience." I'm very proud to hear these things. I can't help myself. Joe Baker in Beaufort Plantation said, and I quote, "I've enjoyed Hargray's new gigabit high-speed data service for about 3 months now, and the best way that I can describe it is, wow. Movie and download apps are blazingly fast. No more buffering. Uploading files and downloading material is almost instantaneous. We have 6 wireless devices in our home operating off of the Wi-Fi modem router, and we are still getting download speeds of more than 925 megabits per second and upload speeds of 50 plus megabits per second. I've become addicted to Hargray's speed test, just for the fun. Just for the fun," he writes, "of monitoring our broadband speed and comparing it with friends and neighbors." I don't know Joe personally. I'm thinking he needs to get out a little bit more. No disrespect to Joe. Hargray, everybody's got their own definition of fun, right? Hargray, he writes, Hargray is now providing world-class broadband service that is as good as or even better than other advanced communities anywhere in the United States, including major metropolitan cities. So I ask you all here today to think about it. How many of you are like Joe and have 6 or maybe 16 or maybe 26 or more devices connected to the internet via Wi-Fi in your home? You might be surprised if you add them all up. The Lowcountry Broadband investment is not only about installing fiber and upgrading our internal network to enable faster speeds and greater reliability. It's also about providing an enhanced in-home Wi-Fi experience. That's how nowadays we all connect to the internet. So if you have everything else working perfectly, but you leave that piece out, you're not going to have the kind of experience that you can and that we all should. In addition, these investments will enable a new premium television experience, which we can demo here for you after our prepared remarks, featuring upgraded picture quality and other enhancements. Expansion of the Lowcountry Broadband investment continues, not only on Hilton Head Island and Bluffton, but also in other areas. We're actively engaged in conversations with several communities to determine interest, and we invite residents and businesses to sign up to help inform where to direct our next investments. Again, I want to thank you all for being here today and for supporting the Lowcountry Broadband Plan over the past year. It's now my pleasure to introduce Bluffton's Mayor, Lisa Sokka.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Joe, I think you have a job opportunity here. Now we have a Bluffton flyover. It's super easy to get here. Wow. Okay, so I represent the average age of 33 in the town of Bluffton. And I look across this audience, and coming into the doors, so many of y'all live in Bluffton. So thank you for living there, for living in our town. Thank you for keeping our average age 33. I always tease when a retiree comes, we need someone young to stay because we don't need to get old. But Joe's going to help me. I know it. You know, when was it? February, Chris and Garrett Albert called and said, we need to meet you. And usually when that call comes in, you get a little nervous, you know, oh my gosh, what did we do wrong? It was probably the fastest meeting you ever had. He started into it, and I don't know if you know Garrett, but Garrett had his, you know, PowerPoint and all of his paperwork. And I'm like, stop it, we're on. You know, what do you want us to do? That's how quick it was to buy into this. Bluffton's a little different from Hilton Head because we have the fiber and we have it all laid in the ground. And I was a little nervous that Hilton Head wouldn't take it on because of the amount of work and the amount of disruption you'd have to go through. So it just makes me so proud that we both joined and signed the same resolution that Greg read. But anyway, it's great, and better things to come. So just for the press, I am Lisa Sokka. I am the mayor of the town of Bluffton, and I cannot believe a year has gone by since we are here celebrating this. And so much has been accomplished over such a short period of time. As a community leader, and as all community leaders, we want what's best for all of our citizens for now and for years to come. This Lowcountry Broadband Plan is setting communities apart in ways this area has never done before. We're a technology leader, which is something very proud for us to say, in a region that's nestled in beaches and paradise and fun and lifestyle. So it's a good combination. Hargray's invested in our communities. Greg mentioned the areas on Hilton Head, but you can't help but see Hargray's focus when you get off of exit 8, which most people think is Hilton Head, and see the Hargray building right there at USCB. So thank you for your investment in our higher education. When we come together in support of Lowcountry, when we came together in support of this plan last year, the goals were to provide gigabit internet services to residents and businesses who wanted it, and to public areas over Wi-Fi. Hargray's proven that they're committed to achieving these goals by making enhancements to their network in many ways in order to deliver this gig service. In addition to the wonderful advancements that are being made on Hilton Head, last December, as Michael said, 2 trials took place in 2 Bluffton communities, Mill Creek and Beaufort. The results of the trials have been a huge success, as you heard earlier. The residents in these communities are experiencing premium gigabit internet services that most have only heard about, or experienced in other areas where there's Google Fiber or Verizon Fios. It's absolutely amazing to think that a little piece of heaven has the same technology capabilities that are now recently available in Atlanta. Does every home and business need this? Probably not. But faster speeds will be there for those who need it and want it. And as demand for the premium levels of internet service are growing every day, Hargray will be ready to deliver. And I've been following it. And I'll tell you, right when we met, I had a resident of Hampton Hall come to me. He had just left Chattanooga. And he grabs me and he goes, I know what we need to be. We need to be a gigabit city. And so I listened because I knew a little bit about what was going on. And he said, you know, their lives changed overnight with economic development. It's a young city. It's bringing in companies like crazy, all because of this 3-letter word gig. So I let him finish talking. I said, we have that. So we need to get the marketing out. We need to get the message out. Buckwalter Place, which is a multi-industrial county park with Beaufort and Jasper County, is the home to the Don Ryan Center, who, without using the gig yet, has brought over 80 jobs and has added over $6 million to the economy. It says in this great gig blog that I am part of, Kansas City, after the gig came, they launched their startup village. A year later, 30 tech startups, creating more than 60 jobs and attracting over $6 million of investments. So Bluffton's on its way with this gig. I expect to triple it. And we are so excited And we are so thankful that you are in our area, and we just can't wait to see what else is yet to come. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Sokka, and thank you, everybody. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the Beaufort City Manager, the City of Beaufort Manager, Bill Prokop, who joined just after we started our prepared remarks. These investments, while centered and hinged in the Bluffton and Hilton Head communities, also extend into the City of Beaufort, and we're very, very pleased to hear your recent acknowledgments about the digital corridor, the progress there, and excited to be a part of that initiative. So thank you for being here today, Bill. And to all in the room, thank you for being here with us to celebrate the Lowcountry Broadband Plan. We could not be more excited about what we've accomplished together thus far. The announcement of the new premium internet services we've talked about today, and television services starting in September, and our continued commitment to bring gigabit to this community is a big part of what makes the area we all call home so much better. To give you an idea of just how much we've accomplished, we've put together a short video, which we hope you'll enjoy. So on behalf of the entire Hargray team, thank you so much for being here today. Please take the opportunity to spend a little bit of time at our experience stations looking at our new premium video product and the other things that we have to show you today. Again, thank you so much, and this concludes today's presentation.